Hello and welcome to CathyDSlaught's SRC software demonstration with her client list. To access the Zoom call, we're here on her website, CathyDSlaght.com. We'll scroll down, we'll look for the Zoom banner. If you'd like to be part of the client list, you can click on this banner right here and register, and then it's a monthly fee. But to see how the SRC4u software works, let's click here and go into the Zoom call. We're on the Zoom platform. We will allow. We're going to join with audio.
Here it is, 10 o'clock, so we can get started. I want to show you, it was very interesting last night. When I went to bed at midnight, we were still running on that cocktail. Remember, we started out with preserve options?
Yeah.
We were still going. Now, this morning we had stopped, but this time we wanted to preserve a theme. This one had that, and it still is in there running, that new cocktail, which Kevin now has on Portal to a New World. And I saw for the theme, since we wanted to preserve a theme, I added, I don't know, just fix it.
Yeah.
So I figured that covers it. Also, and I had been working on this one for a while, if I can find it here. We have a new saved session, and the instructions for it are in the BSA. And I haven't yet given it to Kevin because I didn't get it finished till last night. But this is on alcoholism. And I don't know if the post is up or not, but the numbers on people who drink 3 or more drinks a day, we're talking 7 days a week, 52 weeks a year, are staggering. And this is just adults. We're not even counting the kids. And what I read said, if you personally are not drinking that much, somebody else is drinking more then. So this is very thought-provoking.
Yeah. I believe that most alcoholics, a lot of them definitely are definitely possessed.
Are definitely what?
Possessed. They're possessed.
I'm going to tell you something.
It's all over that are hungry for their alcohol.
Well, let me tell you something interesting that has come up over here, though, because I have been working with that with some people, and interestingly enough, there is a genetic correlation. We know that already. We always thought, maybe I thought anyway, it was an environmental thing, but there is actually a genetic correlation with being able to absorb B vitamins and also with sugar metabolism. And what I learned, maybe I'm repeating this, I don't know if I told you this before or not, is that the co-founder of Alcoholics Anonymous, he used to give his presentations, told the people that it was the B vitamins, and had them taking B vitamins, in particular niacin, after each meal, and it was turning them around. And what happened, we're talking severe cases of alcoholism, it was turning them around, and a psychiatrist that hadn't even been to one of the meetings, just read about what he said, wrote a professional article that totally debunked it, which then put it into it. But what I'm reading is that that may absolutely be more than we had realized as a factor. And one of the people that I've been working with had a reason to recently have a genetic test. And I'll be doggone if it didn't come up as a genetic issue, the inability to absorb B vitamins. So we've got something new to talk about, not today, but I'm reading a book now on Scribd called, Hidden something or other. I can't remember now, and I just started it, and it's talking about this. I will see what we can do. We know that there are many factors beyond what we've been taught, and so it actually may be that family lines that have all this pain from addiction, it may turn out not to be at all what we think. And yeah, can can the vitamins and all this, can it lead to possession? Absolutely, because as your voltage lowers, perhaps there are openings for that kind of thing. But it's thought-provoking, and there's no question, that possession is involved, because there are those who can see this kind of thing. I took an astrology course many years ago, and the teacher said she had been a bartender for a while, and she had to quit because she could see the spirits latching onto the people in the bar.
Yeah, I'm sure.
So, I guess the whole idea, it's more than one thing, but I want to show you that above all, everything is about chi. It's about keeping chi high, and that's where we ended with that save session.
Cathy, I found out about the entity thing from Raymond Grace. Because Raymond Grace has worked with a lot of alcoholics, and he has found that the great majority of them are definitely possessed. And once you get rid of the entities that have gone into their body, drinking alcohol.
Yep, you're right. I know it. I wonder if he could put some kind of protocol together to clear this B vitamin and sugar metabolism thing.
Well, I'll talk to him.
Yeah, that would be wonderful. So let me show you where we are today. I'm working, my focus for the next week is to get this manual out. And it's not going to ever be finished because we keep adding, but I'll get it out, and then we'll do a monthly update with things we add. But interestingly enough, we have we wanted a name image today, which we hadn't wanted in a long time, and it was healthy teeth, and then speaking right, which was interesting. And here's the scan on that. Let me find it.
I do that every day.
There you go. So you've got.
I wake up in the morning.
What's that?
The triceps and biceps exercises.
Okay, good. And so we've got the healthy teeth and speaking right. Really interesting. After that, number 3 was eradicate plague. So that was kind of funny. But I stuck today with the zeros. And then we did not want a clearing. And that may be because we're wanting the sustenance balancer. But then actually for our personal options, we wanted cosmetic. And a lot of times that's not as exciting.
Yeah, that's good. A workout.
Yep. So what we've got here, we're at the very top, warts of all things, mega muscle building, freckles. We're working on legs, and I do know someone in the group is having some issues related to legs. We want to increase our focus. Again, legs, you see, and so on and so forth. It's just subtle. And I'm having such an interesting time with this little pup who wants to crawl all over me while I'm doing this work when I sit on the couch. And so you see me thrashing around here.
Cathy, what is the symbol on the left side? What is that?
That is for speaking right. These are some of these come from the 70s.
Oh.
And so that is the symbol for speaking right, which that was the 0 along with the healthy teeth.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And so what you can do, if you choose, when you get to this, if you choose one of these personal or general options, you can put it in up to 3 times. And in keeping with what Tesla taught. But I want to show you something else too as we put this manual together. And again, very rough at this point. I'm pulling a lot. That's some of my notes from the book. Hold on a second. There we go. One thing you can do as you prepare for your own, and we're going to do it for the group too, but when you're working on yourself or you have a client, get down here. Just try to speed this up.
What is it, a cocktail?
Pick your pick something that you want, for example, and put, I now allow myself to have, and put that in there. Anybody have a suggestion for the group?
Perfect health.
Love it. So
Yeah.
done. So, and then copy that. And if you get in the habit, do this every session, and then also your own intention statement if that's something that you'd like to put to the test. And and then just douse it in and see where you are with it. And in the event that your number is not where you want it to be, I'll show you. All right, well, we're pretty good here, but what I've been doing is douse it in 3, 6, or 9 times, depending on your numbers. Now let's just go ahead and put it in 3 times.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, I think it's more powerful than we are aware.
Yeah, definitely.
And then what I would recommend, based on my own past experiences, is once you've got this intention statement going, don't keep changing it. I don't mean intention statement, this one I now allow. Keep that going. Don't keep changing it. I think that may be one of the things we do is now the intention statements are a little different. You can tweak those because you've got a lot more verbiage. But for this, keep it simple. Pick your one thing and keep at it. And hope to see now we've gone up to the 101. We've got it in there the 3 times. So
that's a good one. And you can also put one in there. I allow myself to be prosperous and abundant.
Absolutely, yeah. Pick, and I can continue this one. I now allow perfect health for the group, but for yourself, pick something specific. And you can see we do want quite a few Pro Tools today, and I already scanned the sustenance balancer because that was in the list. But here we are. We wanted all that food and all food that will be eaten today. Now here's your excess eyebrows of all things. Who knows what that's about? Wrists, nerves, and shoulders. Now, we did not request any custom cocktails. We have one on nerves, but that's the thing. Our software is programmed to handle all of these things, and very often, just all you need is the Wonder Click, but it's set up so we can scan and make sure of that. So there we go. Let's just balance. And just a few things that stand out. Where'd we go? Yeah, shield to block weaponized weather, frequency, and economics. So,
can you make that bigger?
Yes, I keep forgetting. Thank you. Here we go. Shield to block
yes.
Weaponized weather, frequency, and economics. Now, we have a code for that, but it's all downloaded in the sustenance balancer. But you can also again follow. We've got it. We know we're going to put this whole list in, but if you see something that strikes your fancy, put it in a couple of times. So you're getting the 3. And let's see what else we've got that was interesting. Master Formula, that's a Young Living product. So if you have that, this might be a day to take it.
Yeah.
And this was towards the bottom.
What about the brain neurotransmitter?
Yep, that's in your auto select already. Let's just go down. I need to just make it a little smaller so I can see. See, we go quite a few here. Our last one, now let's move it up again. All right, so there's a few products in here. This heavy metal issue, I talked with a doctor yesterday about a detox that I'm going to put to the test. I'm not going to do it quite yet, but it looks like with all that's going on in the world, we probably do want to look at some detox things. Let's go on up here.
What was it, Minerva?
What was what?
The Minerva.
I don't remember. I put it in there and I don't know what it was. This kind of has turned into I don't know what to tell you. We've been asking quite a bit for things in reference to our vehicles. This elderberry tincture, which you can find at the health food store, this buried treasure seems to be a real powerful brand. There's our zinc. Malcolm Ray, 3 pints of shoppers, energetic. So what we can do is just go ahead and and because this is a subtle scan, just in case we've got anything left out. And now, before we do the Pro Tools, oh, and by the way, here's our, see, this internal healing capability, we're still stuck right in the middle. Stuck maybe isn't the right word, but there's some resistance there. Let's go ahead and do that. This is the timeline, which we've been doing once a day. This is in reference to unsure of self. And let's see where we are today. Still at about, well, yeah, about a 50, so let that go.
You know, Cathy, the other day, or yesterday, I was using a prayer warrior. And,
Yeah.
then I was going into something else too, and I noticed that when I came back to the prayer warrior again, it had stopped. With you know, if I put it into back in to save it, wanna keep going.
It should, unless you just needed a very small amount of time.
Oh, okay. Maybe that was it.
That may be all it was.
I was surprised because I had it in there for like 8 hours for this lady, and
that is unusual. Yeah.
I checked back in there, and for some reason it had stopped.
That is unusual. Unless something came in and interfered with it, but it might be that you just needed not nearly that long.
Well, yeah, you're right about that.
I don't know that. But anyway.
Yeah, you're right, because I remember that from the past too, that either Kevin had mentioned it or Grandmaster David stated something about that. You know,
okay.
or Ray. And they said if it goes on, if there's enough energy, then said it'll stop.
Okay, all right, that probably is it, and that's good.
That explains it. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, so you see, we're just taking a wonder click today. So let's go ahead and do that. And then that'll give us some ideas for the Pro Tools. So we've got, this is interesting, stagnation. Again, this is the group. Life force. Brain, respiratory, thymus. Stress related to deception. I think we've got asked for the emotions panel. Yep, so let's go ahead and look at that. Okay, and look at that again, the nutritional component, which is very interesting. Fanatical, phlegm, a wish changes nothing, a decision changes everything. Got to tell you one thing. Remember, maybe yesterday I had to text a friend and apologize because I blew my stack when she said she was going to take the vaccine. And the reason is that she did not want to take it. And her family was pressuring her. And I had to text her back and apologize because I really got upset. Well, guess what? She didn't take it.
Good for her.
And I'm so thrilled. And it's not about, we don't know what's right or wrong with this, but this is about sovereignty. How can you create, without sovereignty in all areas of your life? Now here we've got under pressure. Let's go ahead and add that.
Yeah, I wouldn't have taken it either.
Right, with your employment, with your employment, that is definitely a factor.
Yeah, I wasn't too pleased about that.
So you see this under pressure and what's working on the heart chakra, and that's probably your biggest source of magnetic energy. So that's just a thought. Shaken. There you've got spiritual unwellness, blockages. Let's put stagnation in there. Look at that.
Yeah.
So
demonic attack. Wow.
Look at that. So that kind of gives you a little hint to keep your mind active. Alertness. Occasional feelings of inadequacy.
That's like if you get into a state of being bored, anything can come up.
Well, and it seems like knowledge is a key to rising in consciousness. And so the more we can learn, but maybe even, I don't know, maybe even more than learning is to question. Joanna sent some real interesting information. I haven't had a chance to look at it in detail, but about that one I can't pronounce where the doctors end up in charge. Joanna, that's really thought-provoking, isn't it?
Yeah, it was kind of startling.
So I will put that back, or if you will, just put it back there in the VSA, and then anybody who wants to look at it, do you have time to do that?
Yeah, I'll get that put up.
Yeah, because it's thought-provoking. Because, that's one thing. We trust everything the doctor tells us. Maybe not this group, but I'd say that's a pretty fair assumption. So let's go in now. We've got this going. And let's just go ahead in case we've missed anything and put all that stuff. And see where we are. 5 hours. And then the acupuncture. How about we do eyes, since that's our...
Something about eyes in there?
Yep, that's our resistance and confliction at this moment in time. I don't know that we have a cocktail for eyes, but let's look in here.
Yeah, there is a cocktail for eyes.
Well, there are several, actually. It's all eyelids, though. Let me put eyes. Yeah, we have cosmetic, but not so much physical. Let's just go ahead and see what we come up with. Unwellness, governing vessel condition,
I keep
and muscle
working on
region.
my eyes, and I'm getting nowhere.
All right, yeah, it's a challenge. Oh, look at that, 12 hours. So this be our next focus. We'll see. And then
in the military, they give their pilots bayberry.
okay, let's look at that.
Bayberry for the eyes?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
You got one for the eyes?
One.
Let's just test it. This is again for the group.
Does Young Living have a bayberry?
I don't think so.
I don't know.
Oh, good. No, never mind.
For the group, it's not a high number, but I sure am going to test it for myself.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. And now we are asking for the issue solver. And I've been told that this is perhaps the most powerful Pro Tool.
Oh, really?
Yeah, by Kevin. So let's,
Oh, yeah, okay.
yeah, whose opinion counts. So let's just put some of this in.
By the way, Cathy, Kevin sent me some info on what was that one that we were looking at yesterday? Quinn something. It was, but he had information on it.
What is it?
It was one called Quinn.
Quercetin.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I got information on it from Kevin.
Yes, okay.
I'll send it to you.
Please, yeah.
Because it covers a lot of things. Let me tell you, cancer and all kinds of different things.
Excuse me.
Allergies.
Wow, okay.
So are there side effects of it for anybody? You probably want to check it for yourself.
Eyes can also have a lot to do with what we don't see, don't want to see, resist seeing on an emotional.
I've been through that too many times, and a lot of people tell me that, but you know, I've checked myself out and I don't find whatever. So I mean, like, but I've been working quite a while for that with my eyes, and nothing's been happening.
If you have healthy kidney, stomach, and liver meridians, you won't have any eye problems.
Ah. What was that again? Healthy what?
Stomach, kidney, and liver.
Okay.
If they're healthy, you won't have eye problems.
Interesting.
So there's a bayberry tincture that you can get.
Yeah, it's definitely worth respecting or researching. And the other thing, Karen sent more information on the dandelion root and dandelion leaf extract and what it does in reference to spike protein. So you might want to test yourself for that as well.
Mm-hmm. It's also great for animals.
Ah.
Oh yeah, I heard about that.
And remember on the VSA in the back, when you see the list of all the different things, to the right you'll see a .pdf. It's the same as what's in the blog.
Ah.
Oh, I'm going to check that out.
While we're on pause for a second with Cathy typing, for some reason I'm drawn to the timeline, and two things that I decided to put in that are coming up high numbers for several people, and that's soul damage, and the other one is deep fears.
Ah.
Wow.
So anybody that's working with timeline, it seems.
Yes,
I was
that's
shocked.
good. That's very good. And you know, Neville Goddard said the soul is the ability to choose.
Yeah.
And that we have that ability. Animals do not. I mean, animals obviously can choose what they eat and what they play with, but we're talking about the ability to choose and then visualize it and create. That is a unique human attribute. that we have. And so obviously you need some high voltage for that, although we're choosing all the time, but we don't always like what we choose. It comes from a subconscious, maybe subconscious programming or whatever. But yeah, that to me, if I see soul damage, and what was the other one, Deborah? Fear?
Deep-seated fear.
Yeah, so you see, thank you. So that you can see, let's just look at that. Let's copy that. And remember, too, that this is so often proactive, and we have learned that the brain, okay, there's some stress there. The brain, when it sees this kind of thing and it's aware, it goes in and begins corrections. I've been told as much as 80% of it. So, for one thing, let's realize the power we have to choose. And now let's look at the fears. What was the terminology on fear?
Deep-seated fears.
Deep-seated. And again, when it's deep like that, that's probably consciousness programming. Let's see where we are as a group.
Yeah, I'm sure it is.
Okay, and so that's significant. Did I already start the emotion scanner? All right, let's just do another one. Okay, and then soul damage.
And comfrey is good for soul damage. Comfrey, yeah.
Thank you. All right. Yeah, you will find, and I don't think it's going to relate so much to if you've already, gone to the trouble of working with the SRC, then chances are you're not stuck in a comfort zone. But many, even when they realize they have some of these powers, they still don't go for it because they are in a comfort zone. Does that make sense? They're afraid to leave it.
Yeah.
So it looks like we're good to go here. Oh, by the way, is this? Where did our images go? This home was a 0 also when we did our overall scan this morning. So you can go in. For example, we requested the prayer warrior, and that would be a good area to keep your home going. Now, this is something I've put in, the situation of mind control in America. Now, we're done with that. You see, I've done that day after day. The most recent was 4 minutes. That's cleared. So let's go ahead and just put client group.
You usually go by what they refer to?
And what do you mean?
Gives you time, I mean?
I do, yeah. So if we go to the client group and home-related stress, this could be family problems. It could be physical. It could be spiritual.
Yeah. Because when it shows the time, I just take the time that they show.
Yeah, that's what I do. But what I'll do now, there's an hour, but what'll happen is I have a bunch of them going on the other computer, and I go in, and sometimes you'll have people run for days. Now we're all clear. We had cleared everything up, but let's just go in here. For example, any suggestions here? We've got a little bit more room in the prayer warrior. Any suggestions?
I don't know right offhand.
Let's put this fear thing in here.
All right.
And it looks like we're taking 12 hours. Let's just see if do we have a cocktail for that by any chance. Okay, how about remove dysfunctional fear? We've got remove fear, clearing hate, racism, and fear. Which one? Any suggestions?
One or two.
All right, yeah, let's just do the generic right now.
Yeah.
And then get that started. And then
going into the fear. Yesterday I tried to make an appointment for my daughter to get her teeth cleaned, and something that came up for me was to inquire if any of the technicians had gotten their vaccine because of the transmission or the shedding. And
well, the invite was at 16,000 something.
what's that?
Well, when you invited people.
Oh, I didn't see it, but yeah, that's always an interesting.
16,000 something.
Yeah, and that's a relatively low number. Sometimes it's way up there.
Yeah.
What I'm putting in this one is just attract good.
Does anybody have any thoughts on, because your mouth is basically access to every organ in your body.
Exactly.
Would you have someone that has had the vaccine work on your teeth?
No.
That's an interesting thought.
You have to realize that you have the power. We can't keep going down the fear factor. You have to realize you have your own power source.
I like that, Debbie.
Mm-hmm.
All of that stuff.
That's what I think too.
Yeah, you're right, Debbie.
The only thing that can have power over you is something that you've allowed.
Yeah.
See, now we are taking 22 hours in reference to mouth here too. So with that in mind, we're good to go.
Good.
Thank you.
Thank you.
A lot of stuff.
Thank you,
Thanks, Cathy.
Yeah, thanks a lot, you guys. I will see you tomorrow.
This concludes the SRC4u software demonstration call. Again, if you'd like to be part of the call, come over to CathyDSlaught's website, look for the Zoom banner, and this will give you your entrance to the Zoom call. If you'd like to be part of her client group, it would be this banner you would click. All the information you need to be part of her client group during the SRC4u demonstration Zoom call is right there. And thank you for attending. We look forward to seeing you again. Till then, take care and be well.